Grass seed with Sam Peterson at Elk River.
All right, when people come in asking for grass seed, you gotta ask them a few questions first. First question you gotta ask is what kind of soil do they have? Do they have sandy soil or do they have nice black dirt? A lot of people around here have sandy soil because it's Sherburne County, because that's the way it is. Some people, when they build their house or something like that, they'll bring in some black dirt. So you gotta ask the questions. If they have sandy soil, it basically narrows it down to one option, it's tough turf. This tough turf is a fescue blend. That fescue is the type of grass on the label. It's got a bunch of different fescues in it. Fescue, ryegrass, bluegrass. Look, it's almost 60% fescue. More than that. A lot of percent fescue. It's a lot of percent fescue, okay? So, the fescue has deep roots, makes it do really well in the sand. It looks almost as good as a bluegrass or a ryegrass. The texture isn't quite as good. So people are gonna want a bluegrass or a ryegrass, but you're gonna have to talk them into a fescue because that's what's gonna grow in their sand. You also have to ask them if they have irrigation.
Perfect.
If they don't have irrigation, fescue is basically their only option. They won't be able to grow almost anything else without irrigation unless they're planning on watering it consistently. So, you're gonna wanna ask them if they have irrigation. If they don't have irrigation, it's fescue, tough turf. If they do have irrigation, they have another option. They could throw down some sunny or some sun and shade depending on what they need. It's ryegrass and bluegrass. You have to tell them that it's gonna be hard to maintain and they have to water it good and they have to have real good sun. It's gonna be tough and they have to take care of it well. So most of the time we still go for the tough turf anyways, because it looks almost as good. If they have irrigation and they have nice dirt, it opens up a lot of options for them. They could do sun and shade, they could do shady, they could do sunny. A lot of the times, if they have irrigation and nice dirt, we go for the sunny because it's gonna look the best. Sunny has a bunch of bluegrass and a bunch of ryegrass and a little tiny bit of fescue. The fescue is gonna come up first and it's gonna take care of it if it's in a not so great spot. But this is all the stuff that's gonna look real nice for them. So, a lot of people will come in and ask for sunny or something and you talk to them and talk it through with them. And they're like, oh, well, actually, we're planting it in a shady spot, or we've got shade in about 50% of it, something like that. That's a big deal. The sunny isn't going to grow very well if it's in the shade for half the day, right? So we're going to look for a sun and shade blend or a shady blend. A shady blend has a little bit more fescue in it. It's 40% fescue, 20%, so it's 50% fescue, 20% bluegrass, 20% ryegrass. The reason that there's fescue in here is the fescue is going to actually do the best in the shade. That's going to come up first, and then they have a little bit other stuff to make it look a little nicer. That's if they're in full shade. Sun and shade, it's like what they described. So you ask them about how much sun exposure they have in their yard too. If they say, oh, about half the day's sun, you can kind of go with whatever you want there. If they're like, oh, it doesn't get much sun, go for a sun and shade. And if they're like, it's underneath trees, give them a shady. That's basically it for it. The other thing is try to upsell them with fertilizer. You want to give them a fertilizer that has some middle number in it. Fertilizer is the three numbers. The first number is nitrogen, second number is phosphorus, third number is potassium. You want something with the middle number. So a 1717, a 1919, a 1010, a 1313. Do whatever, but you want to sell them a 1717 or a 1919. That's it for grass seed.